Good morning and welcome to today's verse. Today's verse comes to us from the book of Proverbs, Proverbs chapter 20, verse 1. And it says this: wine is a mocker, strong drink is a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise. Some would argue the fact and say that, well, during that particular time, in that culture, in biblical days, in that culture, that wine was the preferred drink, even over water, because water would have all kinds of impurities in it. And they would say that, well, wasn't it one of the first miracles that the Lord performed, where he turned the water into wine at the wedding? And that is true. Or they may say that it has good medical benefits to it. Remember, the Apostle Paul encouraged a young preacher by the name of Timothy to drink a little wine for his stomach's sake and many infirmities. That is true. But also, which would say that a little wine is permissible, but also in that same letter to Timothy, he warns church leaders to not be given to wine. The New King James Version says not given to wine, and that is not to be given to drunkenness. In other translations, which I think is a better translation, that they are not to be given to drunkenness. But if for some reason for 1 minute that you think by drinking in excess, it's not going to have an effect on you, you're fooling yourself. Now, I know some people will say that they drink wine or they social drinkers. And I'm really not sure what that means. Honestly, I don't know what that means to be a social drinker. I used to love God's good grapes, barley and hops and all of that stuff. And I did not drink to be a social drinker. I would drink to get a buzz on. And I'll just be honest with you. I remember the time that I was in Germany in 1990, February 1990. Remember the date. This is the date that I stopped drinking once and for all. I say it's the official date that I stopped drinking once and for all, because there was a time that I was there without my family, and I was going out with some buddies and stuff. And I remember asking a JAG officer, a friend of mine, a lawyer, a friend of mine, said, "Hey, let's go to church tomorrow." Sunday was coming. And he had dealt with some church hurt. I didn't realize it at the time. And he got really upset that I would even suggest that we would go to church together. And he pointed his finger at me and said, "I'm not going with you because you're just like me." And I knew what he meant when he left. For the first time I saw myself, I realized that my witness was affected by my actions in private. And so that very night, I prayed the most sincere prayer I think I ever prayed in my life. And that was, "Lord, you now have all of me." And the very taste, the desire for alcohol left me that night. Never took another drink, officially, I say. But there was a time later on in the summer while in Germany that I went on a Votes March, and that's, 10K walk. At the end of that walk, it was in the summer, so about 80 degrees, which is hot in Germany. So I was, all sweating and stuff. And so there was a stand there, and I remember purchasing a bottle of apple juice. I thought it was apple juice, as it said. And so I just downed it, and I remember the lady at the stand looking at me really strange, and she was saying, "Are you okay?" And I thought, "Why are you asking me, am I okay?" "Sure, I'm okay." And she said, "But you're drinking apple juice like that." And I said, "Sure, it's good." And she said, "No," she said, "it's wine. It's that." But it had no effect on me because I drank the way I drank it in innocence. I really thought it was apple juice. Now back to our verse. Wine is a marker. It will make you do foolish things. It will impair your judgment, that is the excess of it. It would impair your judgment and your behavior. If you don't believe it, ask Noah. Noah, after the flood, he planted a vineyard, got drunk, lying naked in his tent, was subject to mockery by his son. What about Lot? Lot, who after escaping Sodom, his daughters got him drunk so that they could get pregnant by him. And then there was old Nabal, Abigail's foolish husband, who after a drunken party died. Yes, wine can make people do foolish things and look foolish in the process. And what about strong drink? Strong drink, it'll go to your head a whole lot faster than wine, right? It can turn a gentleman into a brawler, ready to fight any and everyone, probably can't fight at all. But in his mind, he thinks he is an MMA champion. When something has the ability to dull your senses and alter your common sense, you got to ask yourself, is it good for you? Whoever is led astray by wine and strong drink is not wise. Selah. Think about this. To God be the glory for the great things he has done. I pray that you would meditate on this verse. It would be a word of encouragement and challenge to you as you go throughout your day. I pray that you have a good day. It's the weekend. Enjoy the weekend. Get out and do something special. Sunday's coming. Make sure that you enter into a place of worship with the saints of God. And then Monday morning, God's willing, we'll see you right back here. Yes. On today's verse. Amen.